Hi, home kiddos. It's Thursday. It's February 27th, and today should be a good story. We're going to get into more killing and deathing and stuff like that. Let's see. Does anyone have stuff to turn in? Camp T, Honor Society, things like that?
I already did it.
Go you. All right. Sure. Tomorrow's myth quiz, there will be grammar on there, so if you want to bring the grammar notes, I figure we did a game yesterday, so in theory, grammar should be in the part of your brain. And then also, next week is 9-week assessment week. English assessment is Friday of next week. It is going to involve you reading, I think, 2 nonfiction articles and then having to do like a longer written response. I had kids say don't call it an essay because it's not a full essay, it's like a paragraph or 2. So apparently it's a written response. I don't know when your other classes have their assessments next week, but I do know the good news is at the end of the week you get a 3-day weekend. So that's sort of a win after the end of everything. The Monday after that, so the Monday after this one, it was a flex day, but we never had snow. So we get to have a 3-day weekend. So it's a win.
When is your next break? Like big break?
Spring break?
Like what?
Bento! Good stuff. Then I went ahead and put the notes back up there again since we have stuff on quiz, just trying to help you out from there. My goal is our next grammar quiz, which will be next Wednesday. My goal with it is that we're going to do another reviewy thing for the first half of class, and then I'm just going to give the last 20 minutes to take the quiz. I am not going to give you the whole class period because I figure by this point you have either studied and you know them or you don't care and you're just going to guess anyway. So I figure I'm not going to waste a whole class period so we can do a reviewy thing and then we'll go on from there. Bento, you want to try again?
Yes. Is the grammar stuff on the quiz still open Google?
Yeah. But I also know it's open Google when I wrote it, so keep that in mind. Yeah.
I was wondering if I could take a picture of the slide before this one.
Sure.
Okay.
You can't use it on the quiz, but you can take a picture. Elena.
Can I use my phone?
Or you could technically just use the video that's right there. But
Wait, can I take a photo of this and then print it out? And
nope, but you can recopy it by hand. That's fine. Because that sounds like thinking the word.
Everyone's head is in the
I'm
way.
thinking harder to use this word. I use work to use this word.
Again, it's also on the video that I'm literally recording right now.
Can you not grab it?
Make sure you put that in your Honor Society applet. Oh, never mind.
I already got in.
Back to our myth story things from there. So we should be over to right hand side, so that's really picking up the story bits. My goal is that we should get, I think, down to the end of it there. And then again, if you have questions, you're always welcome to ask. I'm not going to answer them, but I can at least try to help guide you. What's up, kid that's kind of lazy?
Should we have everything in that red box filled out by now?
No. I'm just telling you that's the part we're going to.
Okay.
Okay, we good now?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Now that Cronus is leader and king and things are going well for him, who is his BFFFF? Prometheus. What is Prometheus' special ability? Super smart, see the future. Prometheus' twin brother is? His special power is? Being a 7th grader. And the older brother is? His power is? And he will come back into our story again here shortly. Prometheus is the one that decides to help Cronus by making the race of little humans. What ingredients does he use? Mud and water just makes really soupy mud. Dirt and water makes mud. So, dirt, water, that makes the mud. And a little sprinkling of magic dust, of course. You can't just make mud people and have them run around. You have to sprinkle your magic dust. And we only had one season during this time, which was? And only one gender, which was? Women don't come in until we invent evil, which is the story coming in later, and then we can get into that part of it too. So on that one, by the way, girls who get all upset about that part and go, that's sexist, my response is, earlier, when we said which gender has brains, what did you say?
Female.
Oh, was that part sexist or was that part funny? That part was, yeah, that's also sexist. But you did see the boys complaining. So you guys get to have brains, but you also get to be evil. So with both things come together on that one. And if you're confused, look around the room, it'll make sense. As you see all the boys thinking about trying to lick wallpaper and the girls going, I think it all probably makes sense. So then we get to Cronus and Rhea. Oh, what was the curse placed on Cronus?
Me. You would have children.
So that's not the curse. So first baby born, why can we not stab it?
Angry wife and not that big.
Why can we not throw it in Tartarus? So the solution is,
They're eating.
how many babies does he eat?
They're eating
Why are you looking at
And what is the final baby's name? And does Zeus get eaten? What does he eat instead? Nicely done. So at this point, Zeus now gets to grow up down on Earth, and he gets to hang out with Mama Earth, and things go well until he becomes a young adult into his, I don't know, late teens, early 20s, and he finds out about his dad and his siblings, and decides that he wants to go and free all of them. And did we get to his plan he comes up with? Who comes up with the plan?
Me.
Why?
Because you said cut open the stomach.
True. Well, also going back to the earlier sexism thing. She has a brain. And remember, he tried to solve it by just attacking things, and she tries to do the logical thing. So, here's where we get to today's story. At this point, he decides he's going to go up, and he wants to free his brothers and sisters. Luckily, Cronus does not know he exists. Because where does Cronus think he is?
Dead.
Yeah, in his tummy and dead. So, Zeus is going to go up to Mount Olympus, and he goes ahead and puts on his little disguise, just to be on the safe side. So he wears his little fake mustache, and gives his little puking motion, and goes up to Mount Olympus, figuring he'll just sort of find a way to sneak the drink in. Hi, Finfo. What a happy day. Thank goodness you interrupted me to let me know. So he goes up to knock on the door of Mount Olympus. Nope. And at this point, Cronus comes out and answers the door and goes, "Hey, who are you?" He goes, "My name is Zeus. I am the god of socks. And I was new in the neighborhood, and I was wanting to come and hang out for a bit." And Cronus goes, "Yeah, not a problem. Love the mustache. Come on in." And he invites Zeus in, and things go well. Did you need to leave? What's up? Yeah, sure. No, it's like pukey potion. That's what I call it. I mean, it's a potion that makes you puke. So Cronus is sitting there and going, "Hey, come on in. I'm just watching football, having a good time. You're welcome to watch the game with me." And Zeus is like, "Who's playing?" Cronus goes, "Oh, my favorite team, the Titans." And they're sitting there watching football together, trying to figure out what... Don't you shake your head. That joke was great. And trying to figure out how to get him to drink the potion, the pukey potion that's all poisoning. And comes up with an idea. He goes, "Hey, new buddy, do you have anything to drink? I'm like really thirsty." And Cronus goes, "I do. I have a little mini fridge over here in my man cave. If you would like to grab out, I have a bunch full of my favorite drink, Mountain Dew." Thank you. And he goes over there and grabs out 2 of the Mountain Dews, pours them into glasses, takes out his little pukey potion, and then dumps the pukey potion into one of them, and then brings the drinks back into Cronus, and he was like, "Go Titans," and hands over the little potion, and he was like, "Num num num nums," and they both go num num and drink it down. As soon as Cronus drinks his, he's like, "Ooh, buddy, did you grab the Diet Dew? Because this does not taste right. What so?" And then all of a sudden, throws up right in front of Zeus. And as he throws up, all of a sudden, a little baby goes kablap onto the ground in front of him. And then blah, 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 starts puking up babies left and right. Except one is surprisingly not a baby. And there's a little rock in the pile of babies. And they have that awkward moment when you're hanging out with your friends and all of a sudden he throws up a bunch of babies and a rock and a diaper and you're like, that's kind of weird. And they both stare at each other and all of a sudden Zeus goes, babies, unite! And all of the babies jump up and they begin to attack Cronus. Technically, they'd be wearing diapers, but that'd be really creepy. So let's just imagine they're wearing full outfits. And all of them jump up and they start attacking Cronus. Cronus freaks out, runs outside of Mount Olympus, and starts yelling, pukey people, pukey people! And all of these other gods run up, and Zeus and Cronus begin this war between the two of them. So instead of Cronus and his children, it becomes Cronus versus his children. And all of the gods on Earth start picking sides. They either join Kronos' side or they join Zeus' side. Cronus is running around recruiting people going, hey, have you ever eaten a baby? Are they delicious? Join my side. I am pro baby eating. And Zeus runs around going, no, eating babies is wrong. We should never eat a baby. And all of the other gods join Zeus' side, and it becomes split between these two. Eventually, this war will be referred to as Titans versus the Olympians, which is weird because they're all Titans, but it'd be similar to saying heroes versus the 7th grade if we just went ahead and took on all the rest of the people out there. Big, well, obviously. Big war begins with the fighting between all of them, but the issue is, during all of this fighting that begins with all the gods on Zeus' side and Kronos' side, neither side can win. Why can neither side win? You can't win a fight if you can't kill your opponent. If you run over to Stabby and you're like, arm, leg, and you're like, oh man, and they start growing back again, you're like, this is useless. And it becomes frustrating. So during this big war that is happening, turns out Cronus is a fairly good king, but horrible at leading armies. So he ends up tapping into one of his friends and goes, Atlas, rumor is you're all big and strong and you like fighting. You might be better at this whole leading the army thing. And Atlas goes, Atlas, smash! And Cronus goes, that sounds like a yes. So Atlas agrees to become the general of this army. So with the whole fighting that is going on, Cronus steps up as the general and nothing changes. They just continue to fight back and forth. This goes on for hundreds of years. Till one day, Zeus gets a little frustrated. The fact that he can't win and no matter what he does is not going to be working, so he figures he needs to get some advice to help this happen. So he's going to go to the oldest person he knows that can give good advice. And that person is going to be Mother Earth. So he goes down to talk to Mother Earth. And he goes, Grandmammy, I'm trying to kill my dad, and I know you want that to happen. Can you give me some help so that I can kill Cronus? Problem is, Grandma Earth has gotten a little old, and sometimes old people get a little fuzzy in the head. And that's what happens with Grandma Earth. She gives him advice, but it doesn't help him. What she tells him is, he who wants to turn the tide of war has to release the beast within. And Zeus goes, ooh, what does that mean? And she goes, he who wants to turn the... He goes, I understand the words you said. What are you talking about? And that's all Mama Earth will tell him. And he gets frustrated. And he's like, fine, Grandmammy. And throws a hand in her face and walks out. Now, you guys probably know what she's referring to, which would be... Yeah. But no other god knows about it except for Cronus and his close friends. So because of that, Zeus has no idea what she's referring to. But the moment Zeus finds out about it, everything changes. Prometheus, doing his whole into the future thing, as soon as Zeus hears this prophecy, realizes Cronus is going to lose the war. And he doesn't know when or how, but he knows that Cronus will now lose. Everything has changed. Not only will Cronus lose the war, any god on Cronus' side will be tortured horribly. So Prometheus goes to Cronus and goes, hey, buddy, bad news. I did my na-na-na thing, and you're going to lose the war. Not only are you going to lose, anybody on your side is going to get tortured. So I think, because I'm always right with my na-na-na, we need to apologize to Zeus and go baby eating is bad and come up with a compromise and a truce. And Cronus goes, no, I am not giving up baby eating. They're delicious. I just discovered ranch sauce, and I am not going to give this up. And so Prometheus goes, well, if you're not going to give up and you're going to keep fighting, I don't want to get tortured. I'm outie. And Prometheus dips and leaves Cronus to go join Zeus's side. But he doesn't want to leave his brothers behind because he sees what's going to happen to them. So he goes to Epimetheus and he goes, hey, brother, I did my na thing. I looked into the future. Cronus' side is going to lose and everyone on his side gets tortured. I think we're going to switch and go join Zeus. Will you come with me? And Epimetheus goes, I like squirrels. And he goes, well, that's good. That's good. I'm proud of you. But will you join me going over to Zeus's side? And Epimetheus goes, the tails go, and Prometheus goes, you're a special boy. And he goes, look, and he picks up a rock and throws it and goes, get the rock. And Epimetheus goes, and goes running after the rock. So Epimetheus ends up joining Prometheus and follows him over. And keeps being dumb. That's what he's good at. He then goes to Atlas and goes, Atlas, older brother, we're going to lose the war. Epimetheus and I are going to go over and join Zeus's side. Will you come with us? Because if you stay, you are going to get one of the worst tortures out of any of the gods. I don't want that to happen to you. Please come with us. And Atlas goes, Atlas smash. He goes, I know, Atlas smash, but will you join us? And Atlas goes, no, I can't. The problem is, as the general of the army, all of these people are relying on me. I cannot just abandon them because that is completely immoral. I would rather be tortured than abandon these people. So Atlas refuses to leave and join his brothers and stays with Cronus even though he knows he's doomed. So he continues to be the Titan general. Prometheus and Epimetheus go and seek out Zeus, find the little cave he's living in, knock on the door. Zeus comes to answer and goes, hey, who are you? Prometheus goes, hey, my name's Prometheus, BFF of Cronus. Well, used to be BFF of Cronus, but we have some toxic issues. I can see into the future, and you're going to win this war, and everyone on Cronus decides to get tortured. I don't want to get tortured. Can I join you? And Zeus goes, let me get this straight. You can see the future. You're best friends with Cronus. You see I'm going to win, and you want to join me. Prometheus goes, uh-huh. Zeus goes, done! Come on over. And Prometheus joins him. And as Prometheus walks in, Zeus goes, it's nice to have... Who's this guy? And Prometheus goes, that's my brother. And he goes, oh, can he see the future? Prometheus goes, no, not so much. And he goes, does he have a special power? Prometheus goes, yeah, he does. He goes, what's his special power? Prometheus goes, Epimetheus, wall. And Epimetheus goes, and just runs into the wall and falls down. And Zeus is like, that guy's hilarious. He's on my team too. And so he brings Prometheus and Epimetheus over, and nothing changes. Zeus, over the years, is like, dude, you came to my team because you said we're going to win. Why are we not winning? And Prometheus goes, I had the same question. I thought you were going to win. Why is nothing changing? And nothing changes, except one day, Zeus is talking to Prometheus, and he's ranting about all these issues. And he's like, you know what? I have done everything I can to try and win this war. I even went and talked to Mama Earth, and she gave me this weird saying about he who releases beasts within shall turn the tide of war. And I'm like, what are you? Prometheus goes, what was that? He goes, I don't know, about turning the tides of war and beasts within. I think she's just crazy. Prometheus goes, I know what she's talking about. Because Prometheus, being best friends with Cronus, knew the secrets. And who is it that's being referred to? He explains to Zeus who the elder gods were. And he goes, there are these elder gods older than any Titan that exists. And Mother Earth has them trapped in this pit from our great-grandfather, or grandfather, however many, and they've been trapped down there. I think she's saying if you release them, you're going to win the war. And he goes, I bet you're right. He goes, well, why didn't Cronus release them then? He goes, I don't know for sure, but he said something about them being really scary, and that was why he never let them out, and he tried not to talk about it. And Zeus is like, I don't care what they are. I'm going to release them. I want them on my side. So he explains to him there's this little cave system, and you go running down to the cave. There are these big giant doors. Throw open the giant doors, and then you can release them down there. He goes, done. I'm on it in just a moment. And he goes running down the big long cave system, finds the big open doors. He throws them open, and he's like, ooh, giant pit, perfect. And Zeus walks up going, my name is Zeus, and I am here to free. Holy, what are those? And Prometheus goes, I think those are the elder gods. And he goes like, part of me just died. He was like, there's no way we can just, ugh. But at the same time, he really wants to win. And he's like, okay, those things are horrible, but at the same time, I really want to win. What are you going to do? Okay, so he goes back over to the hole, and he's like, hey, big ugly monster creatures. And they're like, blogga, 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 blogga. And he's like, blog, blog back at you. Hey, so the guy who's been keeping you trapped down here, I would like to kill him. Would you like to help me? And they go, blogga, blogga, blogga. And he's like, ooh, that sounds like Angry Monster for yes. But here's the issue. You're ugly. Like, really ugly. So I can't really, like, stand looking at you. So how about we come up with a deal? I release you. You come up onto the earth, run around, and just crush everything you can. But at the end of this time, when we win, how about you go hide on the edge of the earth so I don't have to look at you? And you just go hide behind a mountain, and then we never have to see each other. Sound like a deal? And the monsters go, blogga, blogga, blogga. And he's like, sounds like a yes. And he throws down the rope, pulls up the big ugly monsters, and goes, get them! And the big ugly monsters run out there and start attacking. Monsters. Then he looks in the pit and is like, oh, it's not empty. Who are you guys? And they go, we are the... He goes, well, you're not ugly. You're just creepy looking. And he's like, why are you down here? He's like, you guys don't make me want to throw up. And they go, thank you. But it's because we have the ability to make really powerful, sharp weapons that can hurt and kill gods. So we got thrown down here. Zeus goes, what now? You can make powerful weapons that kill gods? Would you like to join my team? And the Cyclops go, yeah, can we come out? And he goes, will you make me pointy weapons that hurt people? And they go, uh-huh. And he goes, high five! And he releases all of the Cyclops. And the Cyclops like to come out. Now, with this, now the war begins to change. The problem is, during this war, with all of the big ugly monsters running around and jumping off the top of mountains, and all the gods and the fighting, all of the humans die. Every last race of this first humans get crushed and killed because Prometheus no longer has time to make new little humans, plus Zeus and Cronus get to hit each other, so they no longer have a need for them. So every human dies off during this time. And the Cyclops decide that they're going to help out Zeus and his two brothers by making them weapons. The girls don't get weapons. They already have their own weapons called brains. So the boys have to get weapons to help them out. Zeus is the one that released them. So they make for him the bestest weapon. And for him, he gets...
Thunderbolt.
Close. It was a bucket. But you were on the right track. Of lightning bolts. Apparently you can't just make lightning bolts. So they made for him a special bucket. So there's supposed to be a thing that you could reach into and it would electrify your hand, and you could like flip them like big electric boogers, like and it would shoot a lightning people at people, and it hurt the gods a lot. To help you out with it, I did track down a picture of it so you can see what it was. And so here was the bucket of lightning bolts that they made for Zeus that he could then run around with, reach in there, pull it out, and throw it. It took him a long time to make that.
Were clouds included?
Back in the time, yeah, of course. It's a very accurate picture. Poseidon, the next brother, they make for him a weapon.
The trident.
And this is where the trident comes in. And the trident is the one that allows him to control water. It allows him to control anything in the water. Plus, it had 3 spines on it, which allowed him to cook 3 hot dogs at a time. How many brothers are there?
3.
Not a coincidence. It made for the best barbecues ever. And you can just put the little thing over the little fire pit and be like, oh, hot dog time. And it was great. Then we get to third brother, which is... And Hades goes, whoa, 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 hang on. If you guys are making weapons, small problem. I don't really want to run around and like talk to other gods and do like the stabby things. So if you could make me a weapon that does not involve me interacting with people. And they're like, oh, okay, that's a little tough, but we got you. So what they come up with for him is invisibility helmet. And so they make for him the helm of invisibility, which allows him to disappear, which he then uses quite a bit. One, he did not like to run in there and attack people, so he would put on his helm of invisibility, run into a fight, and his two big ways of attacking was one, the atomic wedgie. When the gods weren't paying attention, he'd run up behind them and grab their little underwear and like "Rawr!" over the back of their head, and they'd run around and he'd giggle. And the other one was called tabletopping. He would turn invisible and then go on all fours throughout the battle, and other gods would push people over, and he would just run around giggling. It was great. To help you out above fin thumb, if you see the picture of Hades up here, if you look closely, you'll see you can't see it. It's invisible. But I got you. So because you can't see it up there, I tracked down a picture of it to help you out. Here's Hades wearing his helmet, running around to give you an idea of what he looks like in the... So now we have all the gods with the weapons. This begins to work. Because even though you can't kill a god, when you have a big ugly monster walk up, pick up a mountain, and go smash, 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 and then put the mountain back down, Zeus would walk up and go, hurts, don't it? And the guy's like, ah, ah, ah. He's like, well, when you heal, if you come to my side doesn't get smashed with mountains. And the guys would go, and he was like, sounds like a yes. And gods would switch over to him. As more and more gods switch from Cronus to Zeus's side, Zeus is declared winner and takes over Mount Olympus and becomes the new king of all the gods. End of the war. What is it the big ugly monsters have to agree to? To go and hide on the edge of the earth. What happens to all the humans? They all died, so humans are all gone. Big ugly monsters. Oh, I forgot this part. All of the gods that fought against Zeus in the war, he finds the best way to punish them, which is throwing them into the pit of Tartarus, which might not sound awful, but realize, how long do gods live? So imagine being punished where your parents ground you, but as opposed to just grounding you in your room with technology, they dig a hole in the backyard and throw you in the hole, and you go, how long am I grounded? And they go, we'll let you know. And they just walk away. And then you're down there forever. So it is a really bad and boring punishment. All of the big ugly monsters then run away. The Cyclops go hide in mountains because they're not really wanting to hang out with all the gods because they're kind of bigger than them anyway. So the Cyclops go find mountains and hide in there and disappear. Problem though, during the war, one of our issues is the sky. Daddy Sky, Uranus, was gone. The new sky that is up there was thought to be shaped like a bowl. Like a cereal bowl, not like bowl. So like a giant bowl full of sky juice that was sitting on top of one of the mountains. During this big war with all of the monsters fighting and the throwing of lightning bolts, this mountain that the sky was sitting on began to fall apart. And the worry was that the sky was going to slide off and come down and crush all of the gods. Wouldn't kill them, but it's like being trapped under a car for the rest of time. Zeus does not want the sky to come down and crush everything, especially because he just became king. So he figures the best way to solve this is to find a way to brace the sky up there. His plan is to make a god go up there and lift the sky up so it can't fall. Luckily, there's a god that he really doesn't like and is really strong. That god being, since he led the war against him, he goes, Atlas, you get a special punishment. What I'm going to do for you, you have to go up onto this mountain and lift the sky onto your back. Now, in the things you see of Atlas, it doesn't look like a sky on his back. It looks like a planet. The reason is, if you are an artist and you're trying to draw a picture of someone holding up the sky is invisible. So all you have is a guy doing this. And that looks really weird. So instead, they just put a planet on his back. But imagine it should just be a sky that is sitting up there instead. So Atlas, yeah, goes up there and lifts the sky onto his back. Now, here's the problem with it. If Atlas drops sky, bad things happen. Imagine if I were to give Lucas a detention. And I go, Lucas, for your detention, I'm going to lay on the ground and you have to hold this weight above my head as part of your detention. What's Lucas going to do? I like how quickly you guys answered that. Like, smack. Guess detention's over. So that's the same issue we have here. Zeus realizes Atlas will just go, oh no, and drop it and kill everybody. So he has to find a way around that. Well, Atlas had daughters named the Hesperides, these 9 girls, who were down here in the pit of Tartarus. So what he does is he releases Atlas's daughters and says, I'm going to let all of your kids come up here and live on the mountain with you. And they can come up and talk to you whenever you want. You can hang out with them. You can bond with them. And so this way, if he drops the sky, it is not just all of his enemies he kills, but also his own children. That prevents Atlas from dropping the sky and crushing everybody. Eden, I apologize for skipping your question before. It happens.
It was something about Prometheus, he said that he couldn't remember, but he just asked Epimetheus because Epimetheus could see the past.
Well, I mean, Prometheus can also see into the past. Epimetheus just was smart to know what it was. Plus, all of the things that don't make sense, you just have to put into a little ball and throw it away. This is going to get confusing. Finfo, did you figure out your question? No. What's up, Finfo?
Actually, he wouldn't kill any of them, he would just...
Smash them. You are correct. He'd make them into little pancakes. I guess most people just don't like being pancakes, but someday we'll make you into a pancake, Finfo. Everything will be... Oh.
Yes!
Hi, Hadley.
So when, if he smashed his daughters, wouldn't he be strong enough to lift them up?
True, but if the whole world's smashed, it does no good. Plus, you know, they're pancakes, and we don't want to have pancake kids. You can talk to Finfo over here. She's anti-pancake. Binta?
The pancakes taste good.
I apologize. Bella?
So they would be pancakes for the rest of their lives?
I apologize. So up to here, the three brothers decide to we are going to split the world into 3 sections. We each get our own area to control. Zeus, being the brother that freed everybody, gets to go first. And Zeus goes, what I want to control is everything you see. Everything on the land is mine. Everything above the land is mine. If you can see it, it's mine. That's my area. So Zeus gets everything above the land and air, which works out okay. Because Poseidon goes, well, that's fine. I don't want any of that anyway. Poseidon wants, he goes, I want everything in the water, specifically the oceans. He didn't really care about like lakes and creeks and puddles. His main thing was big oceans and seas. And he was like, that is my area, everything in the water. Then it comes down to Hades. He was not left over with this part. This was what Hades wanted. When they talk to Hades, they go, what do you want? He's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm like, well, you're going to get part of the world. He's like, I don't want to deal with anybody. I'm like, well, where? He's like, give me a place where there aren't anybody. I'm like, under the ground? He's like, are there people down there? They're like, in Tartarus. He goes, do I have to talk to him? They go, no. And he's like, I want under the ground. That's mine. I want that area. That's for me. So Hades declares he wants everything under the ground. That's his area. Now he no longer has to talk to people, and he gets to sit down there and play guitar, paint his fingernails black, and have a good time. So to help you visualize it, here are your areas where they control. Zeus, everything on the ground and sky. Poseidon, everything that is squishy. Tartarus, everything that is under the squishy in the land. Hi, Elena. I apologize. So, at this point, I believe we have pretty much finished all of right side. So, for those of you who have been paying attention up to this point.
And the back 3 questions.
And the back 3 questions.
Actually, the back 2, but I knew the answer to the third one because you already told us.
Hopefully we're good to go there. Tomorrow we have quiz. You get to use blue sheets. I wish you luck.